Hello, friends. We just wanted to be upfront with this episode about a possible trigger warning for some people. This episode features some intense action sequences that may evoke feelings and memories of the terrorist attack on 9/11 on the Twin Towers and other terrorist attacks of that sort. This certainly was not intentional, but after recording this episode, the whole crew agreed that we needed to warn people that may have been directly affected or otherwise that still carry around strong emotions about that day. We love you, and we want you to enjoy this show, but if this episode is too much for you, we understand.
Hola amigos, soy Jaime y estás oyendo a las Mistconceptions podcast. Jaja.
That did not go well. Here we go. What? Is that? No. Okay, I was just seeing things. Oh, crap! Because I forgot I was falling.
Yeah.
And then I remembered.
Thank you for that explanation.
I forgot I was falling, and then I remembered.
Classic acting 101.
All right, so previously on Misconceptions, the crew had taken some time to heal their wounds, do some investigation, and during this investigation, people found out different things. Esther found out a little bit about the woman who owned the ring before her. Bill found one of the other Macabres like him. Rin found his mythos, or the source of whoever gave him his powers, and found out a mission of utmost importance that he had to pursue. Faye found her long-lost love that she has never had, or maybe she had in another life. I don't know. You met your long-lost lover for the first time. I guess that's a way we could say it. And you also went to investigate the Ratpack, and you found out that they were attacking a construction project downtown. You arrived there, you saw it was heavily armed. There were bombs everywhere. Bill saw this strange arm appear over the side of the building and drop one of the kids off, and then he grabbed that kid. Faye was trying to be sneaky and totally got caught and totally got messed up by one of the mafia soldiers. Rin took possession of a crane and was pushing it to its limits, whipping this pallet of stuff around. And where we left off, Esther and Faye had made it to the elevator. Bill was running with the captured Ratpack member to the elevator to escape, but as he slipped and fell and started falling down the side of this building, much to the shock of Faye and Esther, who saw him fall. So, Bill, you are plummeting. The lightning arcs across the sky above you. You are twisting and turning as this rain is just peltering you. Some of it is bouncing off of the windows into your face. You are just in a free fall, and I need you to roll a face danger against a falling 4 status.
I am going to invoke the power of cloud surfing.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll add that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because my family ties will not allow me to just fall and die.
Okay.
Because if I fall and die, they die with me.
Okay. You also have a weakness tag of severe thunderstorms.
We never specified if it was severe.
Yeah, I guarantee you we did.
It was light showers.
No.
It's light.
It
so
is
it's a -1. Are you activating it?
Well, what do you think? Do you think that would be activated?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So you get 1 attention. Tessa's going to mark that down for you. And you're rolling with a +1 face danger against a falling 4 status.
I got a 10 plus 1 is 11.
Okay. So how does this look as you are like twisting and falling head over heels down the side of this building?
What it looks like is my first reaction is to like use my tattoos to kind of try to grab onto something. But each time I try to like catch it, my tattoo just kind of bounces off of it because I'm falling too quickly at this point. And then all of a sudden I kind of realize something and snap to my senses and like beckon with my hand to the sky, and this like little nimbus cloud just races, and like you could see raindrops hitting it and kind of pulling some of its moisture away with each pelt, but it's still going even though it looks a little bit ragged, and it catches me and kind of slows my descent, and then we'll say that's where it picks up. I'm on the nimbus cloud.
Okay. I like that. And I like the idea that like maybe there's like some electricity crackling through the cloud because of the severe thunderstorm. So like as your feet hit it, you feel like this tingling sensation up to your knees as the electricity is kind of arcing into your feet. But yeah, the cloud catches you, and you are a couple of stories down from the construction, but you are saved. The rest of you, what are you doing?
Were we in the elevator or standing at it waiting for
You
it
were in the elevator.
Oh.
Esther pushed the button, she got inside. You came around the corner, got into it. The mafia people were shooting at the crane. Bill was running straight towards y'all, and then he started to fall, threw the kid on the ground, and then fell off the side of the building. So that kid is like picking himself up off the floor, like looking around at the different at just the scene of chaos.
Faye, go catch Bill, and I'm gonna get the kid.
Okay, so Esther starts sprinting towards the kid.
Because I assume that the kid is something that I can actually get, and there's no way I can catch Bill, but I'm assuming that maybe vines or something can catch him.
Okay.
Sure. So I go sprinting out to grab the kid because I don't want him to get away.
Okay, so let's deal with Esther first. So Esther, you're sprinting towards a kid.
Uh-huh.
The kid looks up, and you can see, even in this darkness, you just see his mouth moving, just slowly, rhythmically. He sees you coming with these wide eyes that are also expressionless. But he sees you coming and starts pushing himself off to run away from you.
Don't run. We want to help you.
He's gonna run. Do you want to roll a go toe-to-toe to grab him?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you gonna add to it?
Can I use my Inspire Calm?
Sure.
And either life lessons or Daddy's Fighter, in that like I know the right approach to take to be able to like grapple him.
Okay, so you approach him and you like try to calm him, and then you try to grab him.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm trying to get a hold of him and get control of him so that I can get him in the elevator with me.
Okay, go ahead and roll a go toe-to-toe with +2.
I do have an injured 2 status.
Okay.
I do not have details of what that injury was.
Okay. Do you think that would interfere?
Well, I don't know because I don't know what the injury is, but probably.
Well, let's just say you're injured. Do you think your injury would
It may
prevent
slow
you?
me down.
Okay. So you're rolling with a +0?
Apparently.
Okay. Go toe-to-toe with +0.
7.
7. So, on a go toe-to-toe, on a 7, you get to choose one. You achieve your goal, you get them good, or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. And I'll also remind you, you have the tags, do it quickly, or not the tags, the options. Do it quickly and do it quietly.
But that would mean I would only be able to do one of those things.
Yep.
I'm wanting to counter his best attempt.
Okay. You want to counter his best attempt to get you back?
I'm like I'm wanting to counter his best attempt to get away from me. I'm wanting to make sure that I get him.
I would say that you would choose achieve your goal then, because your goal is to get the kid, right?
Right.
So I would say if you wanted to get the kid, it would be achieve your goal.
Okay.
Okay. So you describe it to me.
So I'm running after him. he's picking himself up. As he's about to take off, you just see something change in his eyes. And they change from like zoned out fearful to just like calm. And he pauses, like he hesitates. And I grapple him, and then I head back to the elevator with him.
Okay. As you're rushing towards him, you like reach out with your hand, and we see like your ring glow to calm him. And as you make like that connection to calm him, you hear this music in your head. You hear this like a flute almost. And as you hear this flute music, the rhythm of the flute music that you hear times up perfectly with his lips as they move soundlessly. And you kind of shake your head and you grab the kid, but since you did not do it quickly, I step up the bombs by 1, so we are at a 3 for the bombs, and it needs to get to a 4. And since you didn't do it quietly, you like ran across, exposing yourself, shouting out, and some of the mafia members turn and see you grabbing this kid. They look at you, and then they look at the brown hooded kid, and they say, "They're here." And he turns around, "They're here!" And some of them turn towards you. Faye, you were rushing to the side of the building to save Bill?
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna post something you told me if I too GM'd it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that Faye like runs out of the elevator, but her depth perception's a little off because she got hit in the head with a gun and it like hit her eye. So she like tries to run and is like, "Whoa, okay, all right," and covers one eye and runs to the edge. I would imagine with that hesitation, Bill at that point had caught himself.
Yeah,
with
totally.
the cloud. And so then she like looks over the edge, sees Bill chilling there on a cloud, turns around and is like, "Really? We couldn't have just left that way? Now we okay, fine." And like runs back to the elevator.
Well, I'm going to stop you. So
Cool.
You look down, you see Bill, he's like caught himself. You see the cloud forming underneath his feet, and you're like, "Oh, we could have just done that." And as you're looking, something catches your vision, and you turn your head a little, and on the side of the building, you see this 4-limbed thing kind of like creeping up the side of the building, and on its back, you see this brown hooded child, but you only catch a glimpse of it as it like turns the corner of the building and goes on the other wall. So you're on the south side of the wall looking down. It goes around the east wall corner and disappears around that side. And it's just a split-second thing.
What side of the building is the elevator on?
The east side.
Okay. She gets on her comms. "Bill, east wall, creepy thing, brown child, brown hooded child, brown jacket." Not brown child.
Brown child.
Do you want to re-say that? So we can leave it in. It's fine.
That seems like a bad idea.
That'll be our preview clip for episode 48.
Get the brown child!
Bill, brown child.
Okay. Woo!
I think he's Mexican. Quarter. I don't know. Half. He can only make 25 tamales.
He's definitely a mix of some sort. Get him!
Okay. Faye gets on her comms. "Bill, east wall. There was some creepy 4-legged thing, and there's one of the hooded kids on his back. Its back. I don't know. Just go. We'll meet you on the ground."
Alright, I'll figure it out.
Good luck. Be safe. And I'm gonna run back. So Faye's thought process is to get back to the elevator, get down to the ground where she can actually use plants.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're running across, you see Esther and the kid and all these mafia soldiers coming towards them. Ren, what are you doing during all this? Besides whipping the crane back and forth.
I come in like a wrecking ball. I am going to perform a daring or risky move. Basically, I want to take the crane and crash it into the building.
Okay. For why?
To destroy the mafia peoples.
Okay, so you just want to make a attack with the crane.
Yep.
Describe for me what you want to do exactly.
So, in like swinging the crane with the pallet, like I did already like kind of creak bend the crane, and so the idea is that I would force the crane to do like a 360 and just like collapse into the building.
Oh, so you want to like twist it around, collapse the crane onto the construction project?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What you want to add to it? You do still have your Berserk crane story tag you created.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have your pallet anymore because you used that to give the mafia people a pummeled 3 status.
Yeah.
Don't forget
What is
about
this?
these
Take
tags,
3.
too.
Yes, and we do still have. What are those tags?
I think the last of them we have the towering steel beams.
Yeah, we have towering steel beams, only one entrance, and thunderstorm.
You can
Jaime
use
or Bill.
the steel beams.
Yeah.
Bill also created a loud noise tag and made it ongoing, so you could use that more than once, I guess.
You could hook the crane around a beam, and like that would pull you down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the idea is that like I want to crash the crane into the side of the building and like pull down as much like I want to create as much collateral damage as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so like I was planning on using the towering steel beams either to wrap the crane around like Jaime had said, or just to hit more enemies.
So are you wanting to inflict a status
Yeah.
on them? I think if you wanted to inflict a status on them, it would be hit with all you've got.
Okay.
If your main purpose is getting the crane to the top of the building, I think that would be a take the risk. But I think if you want to attack them, I think it would be a hit with all you've got.
Okay.
So go ahead. What do you got? What tags?
Towering steel beams.
Okay. So we'll mark that out.
Berserk crane.
Mm-hmm.
And machine possession.
And machine possession. Okay. So rolling a hit with all you've got with a +3.
That is a 9.
A 9. Okay. So on a hit with all you've got with a 9, you automatically inflict tier equals power, and you get to choose one. You take cover, superior position, get them good, control collateral damage, hold the target's attention, or gain the upper hand, or do it quickly. I would assume do it quietly is kind of out the window when you throw a crane on top of a building.
I do it quietly.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I do it quickly.
Okay, so you're going to hit them with a tier and do it quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're hitting them with tier equals power, which is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Describe for me, what does it look like? How does this work?
So, I mean, the crane is already kind of bending down. And so the crane now, Ren's like, this is not going to work, but let's just go ahead and give it a go. And so he pushes his hands into the system, and you like see the electronic system like crack and bend, and he's like gripping it. Mm-hmm. And the entire crane system, like even the glass in the crane has like broken from the sheer force of him trying to like control this crane. And so he spins it around and it crashes into or just like collides, I guess, into the top of the buildings.
I dig it. So Faye and Esther, Esther, the mafia soldiers are coming up on you. Faye, you look over and see your friend and this kid, and all of a sudden you hear this horrible creaking noise as the crane that Ren is in just spins, and spins past where it should be able to, you hear these servos click and crack as it turns and completes its rotation, and the girders and beams that are holding this crane up twist and warp, and one breaks. Another one breaks. And all of a sudden, the spinning crane starts to spin and cyclone down towards the roof that you were on. The Mafia soldiers scream, and they, like, one of them takes a grenade and throws it at the crane, and it explodes, and the glass, like, flies in your face, Rin. And the crane comes down, hits that topmost level, hits the second level. These beams start to warp, bags are flying everywhere. You two start to run, and then the crane hits the floor, and there's this cracking and crushing noise as the ground beneath you just breaks, and the crane cuts through the 51st floor, the 50th floor, the 49th floor. I need all three of you to roll a face danger as collateral damage happens. And for this, I'm going to say buried in rubble 3 status. So roll a face danger against a buried in rubble 3 status.
Is that them three since I'm on a cloud, or is that everyone?
Yeah, so from your vantage point, as you're flying over to the east side, you hear this horrible explosion noise, and for a second you think, oh god, no. Like the bombs went off.
Oh, yeah.
But you have no vantage point on what's going on up there.
Okay. Because I'm a couple stories down.
Yeah.
Can I...
All right.
Can I add my tag, and this isn't to like overpower or anything because I still have my injured status and stuff, but can I add my power, react before it happens, just because like I'm able to react more quickly to what's happening?
Yeah, totally.
Like I'm able to assess the situation faster.
Yeah, you see it happening, you have like a glimpse of the future before it happens, and then you move accordingly. Yeah.
Okay. So then my injured status would be in effect?
So I think I read this somewhere, and I need to double check it maybe during break, but I think, or this might just be for the dangers, like the enemy characters, but if you are taking a status on that spectrum, you don't apply that spectrum to your roll. So like if you're injured and you're taking another injured status, I don't think you apply it to your roll. I read that somewhere. I cannot remember if it was just for enemy characters or for everyone. But I think that's fair.
So +1
Yeah.
to my roll. Okay. 9.
9? Okay. So 9. Please remember that number. Faye.
I have nothing.
Okay. So a +0. Ooh, is that another?
is
Faye!
3.
Would it be too late for me to use a help point?
Yes.
And the
Sorry.
help point would not help.
I had it. Well,
Yeah,
I had
there'd
a good
be
idea with
nothing.
the help point. I mean, like
Yeah.
narrative wise, because I'm reacting so quickly, I'm able to. But it's fine.
Well, okay. So role play that, or no? Let's role play it out in a little bit. I want to get everybody's results first. So 9, 3. What'd you get? Or what are you rolling?
So I want to use my climbing gloves
Mm-hmm.
because I had a +1 on that. Because we had the climbing glove and then
Yes,
we
yeah.
also had a +1 juice.
Yeah. And you made your climbing gear a an ongoing thing. And Faye, you don't have to add that 4 to your injured status. Like this could be a different spectrum, like buried underneath the rubble or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But Rin.
So climbing glove, scanner vision to like find an escape point
Okay.
in the crane of like sliding out, and then I was thinking flashes of the future of like thinking to this point of like this building being collapsed of where would be a good point for me to disappear to.
Okay. So using that new power tag you got last session. Okay. So go ahead and roll face danger with +3. Do you have any negatives?
I have a wounded 3. Because up until this point, none of my actions really have affected. I can't remember what the wounded was for.
Well, I did tell Carrie that we had the if it's on the same spectrum, don't count it against your move. So go ahead and roll.
Okay. That is 12.
12? All right. So, the crane is coming down on top of everything. Rin will describe how you get out of the crane in a second, but Esther and Faye, it's coming right down on top of you. Esther, you see it happening before it happens. What do you do?
I still have a hold of the boy, or the kid that I'm assuming is a boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not fair.
It is a boy. I said it.
Okay. But I'm also trying to like frantically give directions to Faye on like, this is happening, like we have to get out of here, like this is what you have to do. Like, I'm wanting to invoke a help point because I'm able to assess the situation so quickly.
I think you try to help, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So save your help point, because it wouldn't help anyways.
Yeah. I think if I didn't have the boy to worry about, I wouldn't be like, I would be getting my thoughts out more clearly to her. But instead, like, it's coming out like really choppy, and like she's like, you know,
so you scream and shout, get out of the way. Faye is coming down on you.
Yeah.
She's screaming and shouting at you, and what happens?
I just totally picture Faye looking over to Esther, because we're a pretty good distance and there's all this like sound, and so Faye turns over and says, "What?" And then like,
yeah, and then it comes crashing down. And Esther, you might have been able to escape if you hadn't taken the chance to try to save Faye, but the crane lands right where Faye is. Your heart drops, and then the rest of your body drops with it, and rubble starts to pile on top of the both of you. Faye, you're pinned way down underneath this crane, and you take a buried under the rubble, 3 status? And Esther, you step it down by 1, so you take a buried under the rubble 2 status.
That's not added to the injury.
It is not added to the injury, no. It will be more of a trap thing. Rin, describe, how do you escape the crane before it crashes or whatever? How do you not get buried in the rubble?
So when the mafia guys throws that grenade and it shatters the glass for the crane, as the crane is falling, Ren climbs out and thinks that he still has the climbing gloves on, thinks that he's falling to his death off the side of the building, and kind of reaches out his hands, and the climbing gloves slide and then come to a halt down on like the 40th or 30th floor of the building.
Okay, so you fall way down before you like grab yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you slide down the side of this building, the gloves like squeaking against the glass, and eventually they engage and you come to a lurching stop. You can feel it in your shoulders as they almost dislocate. You go, ugh! But then you activate your knee pads and your shoes and you kind of stick them on there, and you are held to this building more than a dozen floors down from where you destroyed this thing. But you see like the crane crashed into the buildings for a few stories. You have no idea if your friends survived.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the mid-roll section of episode 48. I'm your host, Daddy White. That's right, between last episode and this episode, we had a baby. He is so precious and adorable, and I love him, and it's crazy because you never think you'll love something this much, especially a human, because I'm not particularly fond of humans, but he's a good one. He's gonna be a good boy. Yeah, and I'm super tired right now, averaging about 2 to 4 hours of sleep a night. And this past week was my first week back at work, and it's just a fun time, fun tiring time is what it is. But Carrie is healthy, little baby White is healthy. We thank you, If you did offer up any prayers, good thoughts, concerns on our behalf, Carrie's tough, y'all. She is a trooper. I love my wife a whole lot, and while we were going through the delivery process, I think Carrie might be tougher than Esther, which is kind of hard to do because Esther's a tough old gal. Tester, I guess that's Esther's evil cousin from Greece. Anyways, I hope you are having a great time listening to this episode. I hope your week is going great. I'm going to keep this show notes section pretty short so I can go relieve Carrie. I'm going to give her a day out on the town. She's been cooped up for 2 weeks, so I'm going to let her get out, stretch her legs, go have fun with Tessa somewhere. Because I'm going to brag on my wife again, she was very awesome. And, she got me a ticket to see Endgame and said, here, why don't you get out of the house and go see Endgame because I know this movie means a lot to you. And that was super sweet of her. So I'm going to give her today off for a couple of hours to go just to get out because she needs that. But anyways, like I said, keeping this short, in a little bit, we're going to start using help and hurt points. And I guess this was just a really intense episode because we totally use help and hurt points wrong. Help and hurt points, you are supposed to use them on somebody else to help them recover a status or to give them a helpful status or to make them like a story tag. But the way we started using them a little later in this episode is we just use them as a bonus on our rolls to help the subject of the help points. It's totally not how it's supposed to be done, and I don't know why we did it like that. I guess it was just this was during our super recording pre-baby blitz session, so I guess we just slipped up and we apologize. If anybody's gonna listen and be like, hey, that's not how you use help and hurt points, we know. Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. But anyways, I'm gonna let y'all get back to this episode. I'm gonna go take care of my baby. And y'all have a great time listening to the rest of this episode, eh?
Bill, what are you doing? Faye told you there was something on the other side of the building, and as you were making your way over there, before you got there, you heard this huge explosion from up top.
That sucks. I think I'm gonna go up top to investigate.
Okay, so you fly up top. You see the crane that Ren had been in is just twisted and torn and crashed into the top of this construction project, destroying the topmost floors of this skyscraper. As the dust kind of clears and the rain kind of pelts down on this area, you see there are still blinking lights, but now they're blinking lights inside the building. It's like the pieces of construction that those bombs were on are now collapsed inside. And you kind of look around and you see some mafia soldiers picking themselves up off the ground, but definitely not as many as there were before.
Oi, where's everyone?
Is our Archon still working?
They're a little bit crackly, especially for you. You are totally encased in rocks and rubble, and actually you come back to consciousness, and it's so dark in here you don't see anything, but there's a steady flashing light that's showing you surrounded by rocks, and then you look, and the steady flashing light is one of the bombs right next to your head.
Oh my gosh.
But you hear Bill statically. What'd you say? Where's everyone at?
Yeah.
I'm under rubble and there's a bomb in here with me.
Can you grow a vine out or something?
I don't know where I am or what floor I'm on. I don't know. I mean, to get a vine, if I'm still at the top of the building up here, it's nearly impossible.
Can you scream, make loud noises or something? I can't. I don't know where y'all are.
Okay.
Help! I'm over here!
Did I hear that, David?
Oh man, Bill, I don't know. You might have to roll something to pick her out, because like over the shouting of the mafia, over the thunderstorm, over like the pieces of construction that are still falling and crumbling. I mean, she's buried a few floors down beneath all this stuff. Esther, you're also trapped in rubble, but not encased in it like she is. How are you trapped?
So a large piece of debris has fallen, and it's like trapped one of my legs because that's Esther's luck.
Okay.
This is what happens to her.
Yeah.
So, and the kid is on top of me.
Okay, so the kid is on top of you. Is he like unconscious, still with it?
How well trained are these children? Like,
They're children.
I think he maybe passed out.
Okay.
But not like he was knocked out. Like he passed out. Like, this is too much. Like,
I think that's acceptable. So he's passed out on your chest. Yeah.
right.
You hear a faint voice screaming, "Help! Help!" And it sounds like Faye. But you also hear groans and cries from all around you. You look around, you see different mafia men or mafia soldiers with their bodies half sticking out of rubble, maybe like with a rebarb going through their rib cage. This just awful scene. It's a good thing the kid's unconscious.
Can I use...
It's either me or the bomb.
I want to use my ring to sense some surface thoughts, because I'm wanting to find out, like, I get that she's buried, like, I understand that, but I'm wanting to know, like, is she seriously injured? Is she, like, you know what I mean?
Okay. So what are you wanting to roll then? Are you wanting to roll and investigate?
That's the only thing I could think.
Okay.
Because I'm wanting to find out, like, is she near death? Is she, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We need to put her out of her misery.
Right. Do I just shoot her from here, or is there still hope?
You have a weakness tag, lost in a sea of thought.
Yeah.
Do you think that would apply to right now?
Maybe, but my argument would be that we all have such a connection at this point that I think that, especially because we live together and everything, I think that I could sift through and find her.
Okay. So you're saying it
something.
wouldn't apply? Or would you want to use a juice to give you a +1 and still apply that tag?
Sure, that.
Okay. I'm just saying you could use that weakness tag to give yourself an attention in this theme if you activate it. Okay. So, surface thoughts. +1, lost in a sea of thought for -1, and then you're using your help point on her to help you find her?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll with the +1 and mark 1 attention in your owl ring. What'd you get?
5.
A 5. Okay, so you reach out your hand, or how does it look?
I put my hand to my head, and I close my eyes, and I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to silence everything around me. I'm focusing in. I'm trying to figure out if she's gonna make it.
Okay, and as you're focusing on that, you hear the weeping noises, the frantic thoughts, the "oh God, I never told her, oh God, I never told him," like these last regrets of all these people trapped in the rubble, and you hear that song again, but you hear it as if hearing it through 10 different ears. The same song, but delayed and echoing, as if coming from multiple minds all around you. And you just try to focus, and you cannot pick out where Faye is or what her condition is. Bill, you were going to look for her.
Yeah, so I was going to see if I could hear her screams, and I'm just kind of flying over the rubble, trying to see if I can hear her. Because that's the only way I'm going to identify where she is.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of describe how you do this. Like, what do we see Bill do?
You see Bill fly kind of up to the level that all of the rubble is piled on. He sees the crane and he's like, "Oh, Ren, what are you doing?" But then he sees like all of the mafia people taken out, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he's just flying between the debris and rubble and like scanning left and right and hearing people groan and like just kind of trying to find Faye or Esther, because I don't think did no one else responded besides Faye, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So right now that's just what he's doing, and he's listening and trying to see if he can hear anything, because I think that's all I can do.
Yeah. I'll say that you start to drift down into this crevasse carved into the building. You're passing by different levels, seeing all the destruction, seeing how the crane tore through this area. You get down about 2 levels, and Esther, as you're kind of focusing, you open your eyes and you see Bill like slowly drifting down on this cloud through the hole next to you.
Do you know where she's at?
As you're drifting by, you see Esther half buried in this rubble with that kid laying on her chest looking at you.
I have no idea. Where's the last place you saw her? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Over there. And I just point to, like, all of the, rubble.
At least it's a general direction. So, David, I head over there.
Okay, you keep heading down. You get down to where the crane is resting. And, I'm going to go ahead and say that the bomb has stepped up 1 tick during all this.
Oh my gosh.
So you keep floating down and you see the crane, and there's all this stuff buried underneath it. And as you get closer, you hear that voice, Faye's voice, still yelling out, "Help, help." Oh, did you want to do it?
No.
Okay. Help me.
Sounds just like her. All right. So I'm like, Faye, I hear you. I'm coming. Hold on.
Okay, blinking bomb.
So I quickly, because I'm doing it quickly, fly down to the area, and would it be inappropriate to make a pickaxe out of tattoos? That's a weapon.
No, I totally think you could do that.
Alright, I'm about to go to town, my friend.
Okay. What role do you think this would be?
This would be, let me read. Would it be change the game?
I think so, yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use basic tattoo weapons and probably blunt force trauma. I have not used that yet, and I'm going to be beating the crap out of these rocks.
Yeah, totally.
You ready? You ready?
Do you want to use any help points? Does he have any help points on you, Faye?
I have 2.
I have his cards. That's why.
Yes. You have 2?
He has 2 on me.
I was gonna say, do you want to burn both of those points on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty important.
Okay, so you're rolling a change the game with a +4?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Alright, I rolled a 6. +4 is 10.
All right, so with a 10 plus, you get juice equal to power, so you get 4 juice. Faye, what is your buried in the rubble?
3.
3. So if you wanted to completely get her out of there, you would have to spend 3 juice to step it down all the way.
I'll spend 3 juice and I'll do it quickly.
And you'll do it quickly. Okay, so Bill, describe how this looks.
Fly up. I hear, help, help.
You have terrible imitations of me.
help me, please. God save the queen. So I had to be more British, sorry. And so I hear screaming, and so I'm like, at this point I'm freaking out because she said bomb by face, because, you know. So I form a tattoo weapon, and I just start hitting it with everything I've got. I look pretty crazy, actually. Little scary, but I'm just going to town. Breaking rubble, and then I think she's still yelling, so that I know that as I'm getting closer, not to impale her with the pick. Yeah. But I'm still kind of like, even going slower and being more gentle, I'm still doing it very quickly and like shifting rocks, and eventually I like see her and I see the bomb, and I reach a hand down to like pull her out.
Okay. Faye, you see a hand come through the hole in the cave you were in.
I grab it. That was the high five sound.
Yeah, I like to see, like, we see Bill's hand like extend into the darkness, and then we just see this other hand, like much paler and less tattooed than his, like grip around the forearm, and then we have a shot of Bill pulling Faye out of the rubble, much worse for wear.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Esta and Rin and get out of here.
Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Throughout this entire scene, you just hear, and I'm just walking or just going down the side of the building.
Okay, you were on the north side. Okay, so you are slowly making your way down the north side of the building.
Yep.
Okay. Esther,
I can literally do nothing.
Are you kidding me right now? We can't metagame.
Yeah.
In character, there will be discussions.
Okay, so you're slowly making your way down.
Do you let anyone know you're doing this?
Do you tell anybody? You can hear like Bill and Faye having that conversation over the comms, like, where are you at? Can you scream? I'm gonna come get you, all that jazz.
Just want to apologize. The crane fell.
It's not the time for that.
But I'm alive.
Alright, now that you got Faye out, somebody get this off my leg. We got to get out of here.
Okay, Esther, do you want to try to take it off yourself, or are you waiting for Bill to get there?
I mean, I'll try to take it off myself, but I don't think I'll succeed.
Okay.
I don't do well in these situations.
What are you rolling?
I changed the game. I mean, to get it off of me.
Okay, roll change the game to get it off of you. Do you have anything to add?
Life lessons, because my dad taught me about this.
Sure.
Collapsing buildings.
Hey,
Now, Esther,
he prepared
if
me
the
for all
building ever
kinds of
collapses
stuff, okay?
on
Are
you.
you crying? Are you okay?
No, I yawn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a normal reaction.
I mean, dedication, just because I'm dedicated to
You're surviving.
the cause of survival, but
Okay.
my injured come into play, or buried under the rubble. I mean,
You're rolling against the buried under the rubble, so it doesn't apply against you.
okay.
But go ahead and use the injured status, I think.
Okay.
I
So
think
it's
that would
plus
apply.
nothing.
Yeah.
6.
A 6? Okay. So you try, how do you do this? I keep forgetting I need to let you narrate it.
But you're so good at narrating.
I'm
for me.
sorry.
So the kid is still on top of me, and I'm trying not, I don't want to wake him because I don't need him to start panicking right now. So I'm trying to do it in such a way that I'm not moving as much of my upper body. So I'm trying to use my other leg and what little I can of the other arm, of the one side, to lift it just enough to be able to pry my leg out. But I'm not quite strong.
So you put your hand next to your boot and you try to lift it, but it's just you cannot get enough leverage.
Yeah.
And I'll step the tick up 1. You're at 3 and 2 pips, so there's just one more pip before 4.
Bye, Esther.
So Bill and
all the
Faye,
tips
what are you
have
doing?
been my fault, so you're welcome.
That's not true.
I know, but the last 2 have.
Bill and Faye, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, we're going to get Esther.
Okay, you fly up and you see Esther struggling to get this brick off of her.
Hand me the kid.
I hand her the kid.
Okay.
Faye, like, kind of takes the weight of the kid and, like, struggles a little bit because she has just been beat up by Rebel and things. So she's like, I got it.
Bill.
All right, Bill, now's the time where you use your superhuman strength. Come on.
I'm going to use this opportunity to roast Ren. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So she has the kid. Esther's pinned. We're on a cloud. We have no time. Am I assessing the situation?
Yeah, you have a single pip left.
Okay. I guess I'm going to have to roll change the game to get her out from under the Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
What we're looking for here is a dynamite. In case you were wondering.
All right, so I'm not going to use... I can't use basic tattoo weapons again, but I can use tattoo manipulation.
Okay.
And I used float like a butterfly like a really long time ago. You just didn't want us using that, like, if I'm in a scene and I'm using float like a butterfly over and over to punch a guy in the face, right? That's what you meant by...
But you...
So,
how are you going to apply it to this?
So, it propels me powerfully in any direction.
Okay, so you're like wanting to give yourself a boost as you like lift up. You're also getting boosted up to pry it off of her.
Well, I was gonna manipulate my like tattoos to like kind of wrap around it, and then like boost myself away to like lift it up off of her.
Okay, yeah, totally. So rolling with a +2.
Yeah, and I happen to have 2 help points for Esther.
Okay, are you wanting to use both of those?
Yep.
All right, so Bill is burning all his juice to save everybody.
Oh,
It's the
God.
only way we're going to make it.
What'd you get?
I got a 7.
Oh, boy. Okay, so I would like to narrate this scene. So Bill, like, wedges his tattoos under it, and we see him, like, twist and use the air to catch him and catch the thing as he, like, throws it off. And, like, we see this from long ways away, and the camera starts to pan down as we see a Bill, like, helping Esther up and Faye's, like, panicking, like, we gotta get out of here. And, like, it continues to pan down past the levels to where that cavern was that Faye was in. And it zooms in, and there's that steady blinking light. And we see, like, the numbers tick down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we smash cut to Ren. Your feet alight on the ground. You unactivate your boots and hands, and you like look up. Where are they? Are they coming? And then this huge explosion plumes outward. Windows are shattered. The ground beneath you shakes as the top of this building is just engulfed in flames. And what is Ren's like thought as like he sees this huge plume? You don't hear your friends on the comms anymore.
Ren throws his hood back, or throws his hood off, and it's like, oh no, I've killed my crew.
As you're like, you throw your hood back, you like run your hands over your head and your face. There's all these like people all around you, like, oh my god, what is happening? Is the gas main? What's happening? Is it a terrorist attack? What? You hear all these voices ringing out from all around you as these people are staring up. You see bits and chunks of metal are starting to fall down, and people scream in panic. They run away, and you kind of stand there, like staring up at this destruction, and one of the pieces of debris is coming right towards you. But you're just frozen there. And then all of a sudden you see that's not a piece of debris, it's a cloud. And you see Bill... Or describe for me what do we see like coming down on this cloud from all the 3 of you and the kid?
What it looks like is Bill at the front of this cloud, kind of like shoulders low, almost like he's on a skateboard or something, just like gaining traction. And then maybe who's holding the kid?
Faye is.
I imagine that Faye and Esther would be like maybe mortified to be flying on a cloud.
Yeah.
so like Bill's like looking smooth and like yeah, I'm good at this, and then Faye and Esther are just kind of like gripping it, like pressed against it as tight as they can be.
I think Esther's a little more relaxed just because she's past the point of like being like, I don't know, surprised by things. And so, but she is like sitting because her leg is mangled.
Faye's a mess. Faye is holding the kid. She's like crying, but like to herself. Like she's not openly sobbing, but she's like got tears in her eyes because she was so incredibly close to death. And like seeing the building actually explode, she's like picturing herself like if she hadn't gotten out, if Bill hadn't found her. She's also thinking about all of the people that are now dead and wondering like where the kids went. And so she's just like really wrapped up in her own head. And she's like on her knees on the cloud and keeps like reaching down to try to hold on to something, but there's like nothing to hold on to. So she's just like got the kid with one arm and like has her hand down to balance herself. And then her face is pretty beat up. And
So this cloud comes down, and as it gets closer to the ground, it dissipates, and the three of you alight on the ground next to Ren, and there's a beat where you're all just staring at each other, awestruck and tired and beaten up. And then we smash cut back to the top of the building. Everything's leveled out. The glasses, whatever is left, is warped and twisted and covered in gray, and there's like this ash just falling like snow. And we pan over and we see these mafia people just dead, scattered everywhere. And it just keeps panning over these mafia people, and then we see brown jackets mixed in with the ash and with the rubble. And as it continues to pan over, and we see like this misshapen body amid the destruction. It's this human-like creature, but their arms seem to have been replaced by these gangly limbs with clumps of matted orange fur hanging off their hands. They have these long fingers. Their face is twisted and warped, and it's just this horrible-looking beast creature just wrenched around in this horrible display of death. And the camera kind of alights on that, and then end of episode.
Alright, that is all for this week's episode of Mistconceptions. Thanks for listening, and we will be back with our next episode on May 20th. If you have Facebook and Twitter, you can find us on both of those platforms to chat with us, and just see what's going on, get behind-the-scenes information, pictures, videos, and fun things like that. If you have an email, you can email us at mistconceptionspod@gmail.com. This show is completely supported by the generous donations of our patrons on Patreon. If you want to see this show get better and keep going and reach new heights, please consider supporting us on Patreon. City of Mist is an RPG created by Son of Oak, and as of right now, they have new products such as the 2 new core rule books and the MC screen that you can go order from their website. Why don't you go check that out and support this wonderful RPG and this wonderful company. The Misconceptions theme song is composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. And that is it for this week's episode of Misconceptions. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will join us next time. But until then, keep it nerdy, y'all.